So I'm a little bit fortunate in that my XC90 and my S90 are a little bit newer, and what that means is the wipers for these vehicles, 2015 and up, or 2016 I should say and up, use the same wipers, as Volvo is trying to cut down on its inventory of using, different wipers for different cars. Now, having said that, you might have an older vehicle and it might use a completely different wiper than the one I'm showing, and you might own several Volvos and they all have different wipers because that's the way it is. Maybe they're different sizes, different years. It seems like they changed every year back in the past. So back in the day, I would change the wipers and I would use off-brands, and then I went to Bosch, and then I went to Volvo and just started buying Volvo wipers. However, I noticed on Amazon's website that they're like $50 each. And that's competitive if you go to an official Volvo website and find that, it's like $45, but then you pay $15 shipping and handling and tax and all that. Anyway, so let's say you're trying to save some money. So you're trying to save some money and you want to change the inserts. It is possible, and let me show you how you do that. Now, what you do is you can take off one end or both ends, and the way you do that is, I like this flat pick, but since I've only purchased a flat pick recently, I've always used a straight pick, and stabbed myself several times, You know how that works. So anyway, if you have a flat pick, you get your flat pick and you pop up these ends here. I recommend going in this way, like if you have a screwdriver, you can go in this way, or go in the back and get it. Now the fun part is trying to keep the one end up while you work on the other end. And then hopefully you'll be able to start it and then pull it off. Now, I like to take off both ends. And this one I've already got started. It pulls off. You see the holes right there. These levers click into these slots. So when you put it back together, you are going to want to make sure that when these are slid in, that it clicks into place. Well, I'm on disassembly right now. I'll show you when I reassemble. So that reveals the wiper. Now these ends come off. You don't really need to take them off because you might get them confused which one goes on which side. They both might be the same. I know on the longer one, this end is longer than this end. But anyway, then you can just pull the blade right out. And then usually you get them, they're all tied up like this. You want to make sure that when you undo them from wherever you bought them from, whether it's a big long reel and you cut it to length or you purchase the length, that it's not permanently bent over somewhere. And I just noticed this is cut out right here. That goes on the front, but you won't see that on a replacement if you buy just the rubber replacement. And the way you want to slide that on is, you notice how it's designed. The metal goes right between the first layer here. Then there's this big area right here that the wiper rides on. So as it switches from one position to another, going up, coming down, it's free to move so that the edge is on the windscreen and it's folded down. It's wiping. It's squeegee. It's a squeegee. So again, unless you've taken it all apart, which you can't do because you'd have to take this part off, which I did not do. So they're not gonna slide off. They are stuck in place. The over cap, the wind blade, this helps when you're going down the road. Let's say you're on the interstate and you've got a 50-70 mile an hour wind on there. That helps keep the wiper to the windshield. It keeps it from coming up off of the windshield. How's that? So you'll just start right here at the very top and slide that back on. It should just glide right on, and notice it'll keep right on going right off the end. So you get that towards the edge. See how the OEM is pretty much right towards the edge, maybe a hair short. Okay, once you have the ends, once you have the length of the new wiper cut, what you want to notice is there is a front end and a back end. Back, front. How do I know that? Because of the way it goes onto the vehicle. You're going to snap it onto the vehicle like this. That means your front end gets the Volvo side, if yours says Volvo. If not, what you want to make sure of is notice that these two ends are different. So this notch turns out to be something. I've been trying to put it together and I've been struggling with it. You may have to cut out a piece of your new replacement wiper in order to make this work, or you may have to grind off those little tabs in there, because what you need to do is you need to get this on there correctly. You need to slide this on so that it's with the tabs. Let me do that. Then push it back, and when it starts to engage the metal, I have moved the back part out a little bit so I could grab the metal so it doesn't slide, and then you just lock it in place. See how it's coming up? You lock it in place. Lock and load. So that's interesting. So remember, you may have to cut out that little slot on the top end. This end goes towards the top of the windshield when it's in motion. Now the other end is not as complicated. Notice there are no tabs on the other end, so it just slides right on here once you get the metal pieces lined up. You don't want to go too low. There's a place where you can go too low, so you want to make sure you're in the proper area, and it just clicks right on, slides right on. Boom, you're done. So if you find yourself in a situation where you just want to pay 10 bucks for some wiper blades instead of $50 for some wiper blades, and that can happen, you know, hey, we're all born poor and naked, right? So, you know, as you're coming up, you need wiper blades and you just don't want to spend the 50 bucks on them, or you don't want to put some cheapo blades on there, you just want to replace them because maybe you want to keep the Volvo name on there, you know, a little cosmetic thing going on, then that is how you do it. So I appreciate your time. Let me show you what it looks like. When you go on Amazing's website, it's 6 millimeters, and you notice that there's a thin section, a thick section, and then a curved section, and then the wiper section, squeegee part. And the reason that's curved like that is so that it can flop back and forth on your windscreen and be squeegeeing both directions. Now when it starts skipping or it's missing areas, you know, usually right in your line of sight, that's when you want to change your wiper. Don't try and bend the arm, twist the arm, do all that. If it's skipping, you need new wiper blades. It's amazing, trust me. I've done it. Skipping, new blades won't skip. You don't have to go through all that other mess, bending the wipers and all this other garbage. So anyway, there's my video today on Volvo wiper blades. Like I said, I typically just purchase them, but if you need to replace the blade, hopefully this video will help you. Thank you for watching.